Well, welcome back everyone. Today is the third video of the corn planter restoration project. I've had somebody actually tell me that this is a lister, not a planter. So after a deep dive, kind of figuring out which is which, this is actually labeled as a planter and not a lister. A lister has a dual plow, so to speak, that digs a deeper furrow that is then recovered. So it's supposed to leave a trough along with your seed. Well, this doesn't. This just barely scratches enough dirt out of the way to be recovered, so that's what classifies this as a planter, which is, so I could be wrong, but that's what I was able to read after doing some research. So until I can actually find some harder evidence to change my mind on that, I'm going to continue to be calling this a planter. So, but we're waiting on this to come in the mail. This is our chain that runs from our center drive axle off our rear wheels to a sprocket which turns the shaft that operates the distributors. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this opened up. Tough packaging, but not tough enough. That back up. Pull this out. And there we are. There is the chain we've been looking for. Dad kind of has the shop kind of full of stuff right now. Kind of pack ratted some stuff in here with the weather that came in. Everything is pretty well thawed out. We got probably about 7 to 8 inches of snow. Fortunately, we didn't get any ice. We were far enough north, we didn't get any ice. But everything is pretty well gone, except for some of the few spots that are still in the shade. There's a little bit of snow left, but not much. It should be gone here in the next day or two. Try not to fall into this. So we're going to try to feed this down here. Go like that. And I'm going to give it that link right there. Unfortunately, I was only able to get 10 foot, which is quite a bit more than I needed. But it never hurts to have more than you need. It's always kind of a unspoken blessing. And from shooting myself in the foot in the past before, sometimes if you need a foot of something, it's smart to get 2. If you've ever had that kind of situation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Where your first attempt never goes as planned. Alright, this handy dandy tool is what they call a chain breaker. This is what you would put your link of chain that you're wanting to break free inside of here, and I don't know if this chain might be too small. Hope not, because I don't have another. I don't think I have another one that is. Oh, there we go. Heck yeah. All right, now to find a hammer or a viable substitute. All right, I found a hammer. It's a bit overkill for what I'm using it for, but there's one I was able to find. So what you do is you put your chain in here, and there's a small groove, which I'll take a picture and clip it in right here. And what you'll do is hit it. There you go. Now your chain has now been separated. It's a little bit easier to put everything back together. Step back in here without falling. I believe this is... Yes. Then bring our two halves back together. Line them up, make sure they're not twisted. Take our hammer. Rejoin it. And do my best to not hit my finger. There we are. So now, run this chain along our sprockets. And there we go. That is fantastic. So now, theoretically, the planter is ready to go. So right now, theoretically, I could put corn in the cans, hook this up to the tractor, and go to the field. But there's still a couple of things that I still have to do. I still have to put the pieces up front to mount to the tractor. And I need to figure out what rate these seed, because if they plant the seed too close, since I'm not running any irrigation, the corn plants will be fighting each other for water, and I want to have them spaced out. My goal is to have them about a 12-inch spacing. And so there's a couple of different sprockets here. There's a smaller sprocket and a larger sprocket. And I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back probably tomorrow, that's probably where this video will pick back up, is I'll bring some seed from the house that we got, actually some of the seed we're planning on planting, put it inside one of the cans, and jack this up and roll the wheel over so I can figure out how often this will drop a seed. So I figure out my seed spacing and figure out what sprocket to put these on. But it looks like that will be for tomorrow. Well, alrighty, it's the next day. Went ahead and drilled these holes to finish the tongue. And that's gonna do it for this video. The corn planter is ready to go to the field. I threw some corn in the can and pulled it forward and it was dropping a seed right about every 12 to 14 inches, which is perfect for what I'm wanting to do. But like I said, it has a brand new tongue all ready for the tractor. Maybe in the next video I'll bring the H John Deere down and we'll hook it up and get the tongue angle set, so that way whenever I drop the lever it'll be planting at the correct depth. So as always, I'd like to thank y'all for watching, and be sure to tune in Monday to the Behind the Barn show. It's a Q&A show that I'm starting to do. If you'd like to submit a question, go to our Facebook page. I'll leave a link in the description down below and send us a message, and I'll do my best to try to answer it on the show. So we'll see y'all Monday, and also be ready for Thursday's video. This weekend we actually have a couple of places we gotta go, and hopefully we'll be bringing home something pretty cool. So be watching the Facebook page, and also watching the YouTube channel for notifications on the new videos. Thank you all for watching.